Hey, what's up everybody? This is my review of Transformers Animated Voyager Class Wreck-Gar. And as you can see here, Wreck-Gar is a garbage truck in vehicle form, which I think that vehicle form is fairly unique to the Transformers universe. Let me know down below in the comments if there's actually another Transformer that actually has a garbage truck as its alternate or vehicle mode. But here you go. Color scheme is very reminiscent of the Generation 1 Wreck-Gar color scheme. You got the orange here, and you got this red, and even this pale yellow color here. Those three colors are really evocative of the color scheme found on the G1 Wreck-Gar. And I'll do a comparison in robot mode and show you what I mean by that color scheme homage. But yeah, garbage truck mode here. Fairly nicely detailed here. Hasbro actually applied some paint here to the taillights, which is good. Some color contrast between the black and the gray. Two shades of gray here on the side. And detailed cap section here with the highlights of yellow for the lights. And it's got, you can see it has 3 wheels on each side. Rolls pretty well. It does have a couple of gimmicks, one of which is there's a little slider here. You slide this all the way back and it reveals these 2 weapons. And these weapons, this one's actually kind of stuck in here. Woo! Sorry about that. These 2 weapons come out, and you can see they have pegs. They actually peg together if you desire for this type of effect, sort of like a shield, which is really reminiscent if you're familiar with the Gundam 00 Riser weapons. It's really familiar to those of us who are also into Gundam. But they do have pegs here, and these actually will peg into the forearms of the robot mode. But you can see here, got some orange, silver, and light blue translucent plastic. So I will set those off to the side. Second gimmick here, you have these 2 sliders here. Slide them back, and they operate the lift here, which is kind of cool. The tips here do rotate all the way around for some reason. I don't know why, but they do rotate. And size comparisons. Well, here is Transformers Prime Hotshot, aka Bumblebee. So, not quite in scale, but just for size comparisons, you can see what that's like. There's a Viacon. So you got that little comparison there. So, moving on, let's go ahead and look at transformation into vehicle, or I should say robot mode. Pretty basic. Let's go ahead and fold these up like that as part of the transformation. You want to grab onto the cab section. The cab is actually going to separate right here along this line. Grab onto it and kind of pull forward on this grill here to kind of release the cab. This is going to go all the way back. You can see what's going to happen. These are the legs. Bring the legs out. Might as well work on the feet. Bring out the front foot and the heel. And working on the cab section here, I'm going to fold these in. Not a lot of clearance, so there is going to be some plastic that will clash there, but just kind of force it in there like that. Fold in the cab section here in the back. And let's see here. Go ahead and bring up the head here. You can see the arms here are formed by these sections here. They unpeg from the center column. Get these out. And go ahead and bring these around. Bring down the arms. There you go. And this is going to fold up like this and like this. You can see there's a slot there, kind of in a tab. That's going to tab in there. Looking at it from this side, you can see there's actually a tab there and a corresponding groove. That's going to line up and kind of secure it. And also right here, what you want to do is just lower the cab section down, and so that kind of hooks into place like that. It's not really a tight fit, but it's tight enough. But you got, it's tight enough that it actually kind of holds it by friction. And then just put all this together and forming his massive backpack, which I will talk about in a minute here. Let me zoom out a little bit there. And just get this guy all squared away here. So here he is in robot form. Let me back him up here. Obviously with that ginormous backpack kibble, he is fairly back heavy. Let me talk about the backpack here. Yes, it's a very large kibble, but it somehow works. I kind of think of this as a weapons locker on his back or equipment storage. I think it actually kind of works for me. Even though it is obviously kibble, it sort of works for me. I don't mind it too much for this character. Especially, you know, a Junkion. Junkion would naturally have a lot of stuff he carries around with him, or, you know, pack rats into his backpack there. So I think that kind of works. Let's see, articulation on this guy. Well, you can see his head. His head actually appears just to be a swivel. It doesn't have the ball joint type of feel to it, so it just swivels around. And very nice head sculpt there. Pretty cool. Got this soft plastic here. You're going to be aware of that so that doesn't get too roughed up during transformation. You have a shoulder joint here, just a swivel around like that. Arms can go out like that. Swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow. You do have the 4 fingers here on a joint, which is cool. I don't believe there is any waist articulation. Oh, actually, is there? No. No waist articulation, which is okay. You got the little side skirts here. Legs can go forward, like that far, back, like that far. And then you have swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, and that's really all you have for transformation or articulation. And really, looks like the backpack kind of came on loose there, so we could hinge that back in place. Like I said, it's not a really a tight fit in terms of securing it. So yeah, the leg really can only go about that far back because of the way that the backpack is there. So I mentioned earlier, I'm not really going to do any size comparisons, but I do want to do a visual comparison between the Voyager animated Wreck-Gar here and the G1. So let me go ahead and do that. And you'll see a lot of color similarities when I do that. And like I said, it's more for a stylistic or a visual comparison rather than a size comparison. But yeah, here you can see them together. Let me see if I can bring them closer here. Ooh. This guy has floppy joints. But basically, you can see the similarities in the sort of in the face sculpt in terms of how the design is. Definitely you can see the oranges, the reds match up. Some of the yellows, I guess, would match up as well. So that's pretty cool. So you do have that. And also, let me go ahead and bring in the more modern Wreck-Gar here. Trying to remember if it's Generations, Hunt for the Decepticons, or Reveal a Shield. I can't remember. But yeah, this is the modern, aka Classics Wreck-Gar. And again, they share the same, similar, I should say, color schemes with the reddish browns, some of the oranges you can see there. So just, again, more of a stylistic or visual comparison rather than a size comparison. Before I forget, let me move on to weaponry. I mentioned the fact that you have these pegs here on the weapons that will unfold. And you can see there's actually a hole right there on the forearm that plugs in like that. And let me retrieve the other weapon here. And it makes for kind of a cool effect here with 2 of these weapons each mounted on his forearm, like so. And as mentioned before, these do combine. So let me go ahead and do that. Unpeg these. And I think you leave one of the pegs out so you can actually combine it as a type of shield. So you just leave the peg out, peg it back into the forearm, and you have this type of effect right there. So that's pretty cool. So not a bad figure. Actually, I've been wanting this for a while. Of course, this figure has been released for a while now. I think it came out back in 2008. So if you're lucky, you'll find it maybe at a thrift store or a bargain store, or otherwise you'll have to go out onto eBay and hunt this guy down, which is what I did. Yeah. So there you go. I don't know why he's not standing up straight, but pretty nice figure. Glad I have him. Again, nice Generation 1 color scheme homage. I don't mind the backpack. I really don't. I think it's okay. Some people might not agree, but it works for this character, and like I said, for the fact that you can imagine him storing stuff back here, like weaponry or just junk. So there you go. Transformers animated Voyager class Wreck-Gar. Thanks for watching.